Hello, everybody. This is Bill McKibben. Man, do I wish I were with you, partly because that would mean I was in Vermont, which is where I like to be, uh, partly because what you're doing is so, so important. Um, Look, young people rallying around climate change now is, well, it's becoming one of the defining scenes of our time on this planet. And that's because young people know better than anybody else what the stakes are. Um, to speak frankly, I'll be dead by the time that climate change gets to its absolute worst. But it's already bad enough. Um, I've just come back from the Pacific, where our colleagues are working hard, even though their coral reefs around them have been largely killed in the last month as ocean temperatures rise. I've just been talking today with our colleagues in Vietnam who are suffering through an almost unbelievable heat wave and drought that's wiping out rice crops. You've seen what happens in Vermont with new superstorms like Irene dumping record amounts of rain on us. It's bad enough already, but you're the ones who are going to bear the real consequences if we let it keep getting any further out of control. We don't need to let it get any further out of control. We know what needs to be done to deal with it. We need to switch to powering ourselves by the sun and by the wind, which we are capable of doing. And there are places around the world that prove that we're capable of it. Denmark, right at our latitude, even further north, um, produced 49% of their power from the wind last year. That either means that Denmark has figured out some way to steal all the world's wind, or it means that their politicians have the political will necessary to make use of the technology that we now have. And so I'm glad you're in Montpelier to remind people very much that they need to make use of the opportunities that the engineers have given us. We can't have our leaders anymore listening to climate change deniers. There aren't that many of them left anyway. They're just frontmen for the oil companies. But it's not enough to just say that you believe in global warming. If you're a politician, we need you to be doing everything that can be done. That's why it's exciting to watch some of our leaders, Bernie, for instance, really taking on the major oil companies that are the polluters. Some states, New York, California, have joined in the investigation, for instance, of Exxon. Um, um, in Vermont, maybe the most important thing we have a chance to do in the next couple of months is follow through on this divestment from the state's money and its pension fund from fossil fuel companies, so that we're not supporting with our money the things that are wrecking our environment. Um, but there's lots of other great legislation and great ideas kicking around the state. There's things you can do at home, of course. It is important to have the right light bulb and to put the solar panel on the roof. But the reason I'm so glad that you're there today is that the most important thing an individual can do is not be an individual. It's join together with others in the kind of lobbying and pushing efforts that you guys are engaged in. That's why we started 350.org, and that's why it's working now in every country on earth except North Korea. 350 Vermont is one of the best examples of that, and the amazing work that people are doing day after day after day. Um, I, you guys are all mature and aware enough to know that we can't promise that we're going to win these fights because climate change is happening very fast and has a lot of momentum. But I can promise you, because I've been all over the world. I mean, I was literally just in Tasmania, which is about as far away as it's possible to get. I can promise you that everywhere around the world, other people are taking up this same fight, and they're doing it in their thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions. And so you are not alone. And our great hope is that if we act swiftly, we won't stop climate change altogether, too late for that, but we may be able to keep it from getting so out of control that it wrecks your lives and our state. What you're doing is extraordinarily important. And thank you so much. This is the hottest year we've ever measured on this planet. And so it is the perfect year to be turning up the heat on our politicians.